Yeah, it's really interesting. So looking at the data, we see of the sort of 34 billion that was invested this year in Europe, around a third of that went to the UK. And then we obviously see that there is a difference in the ecosystem here in London versus the runner-up, which is Berlin and Paris. Still, across the continent, the sort of three big challenges that people seem to face is access to funding, access to talent, and then co-founder stories. Sort of the human factor seems to be very important, but we definitely do see that access of capital and availability of capital is higher in the UK, and London is still home to a third of all unicorns that are based in Europe.
We were having a fascinating conversation off air about the type of startups you're working with. We talk about Google and we hear about big consolidation attempts to take over new businesses, but you're working with startups and you have a particular focus, so just talk us through that.
Yes, so this might just be the coolest job in the world, but the very focus of what we're doing is working with companies that are founded by diverse founders that are building tech that is used for social impact. So rather than another high-frequency trading platform, we're focusing on health tech, sustainability, clean energy, data protection, data privacy, and very often the founders are women, minorities of color. I also happen to have just spent a week in Nigeria with companies from all over Africa, where I took a number of UK investors down to Africa and introduced them to a bunch of opportunities there. And I will say I haven't seen VCs that excited for a long time.
When you look at going into VC, obviously with the new economies coming, and it's, what's the key to making it work in these incubators and with these startups? What do you look for in terms of, it's a good idea, but it takes people to make it really work.
100%, and actually I love that you mentioned people because that is at the heart of all of it. And when you think about, so our model isn't that different to the way that an early stage VC would look at a company, and it generally goes people, market opportunity, and product third, because at the end of the day you're investing in the entrepreneurs. Are they the types of leaders that we want to bring the business forward? Do we believe that they will be able, in a changing economy and changing circumstances, work with whatever they've got to either address the current market opportunity or find out new ways to pivot and address that new world? The second thing is, how big could this be? Is this solving an important problem? And actually here, something that I find really encouraging when I look at the numbers, over the past year there has been more than a 2x increase in how much money goes towards businesses that are addressing some of the sustainability development goals. Right. So we are now at around 12% of all money in Europe spent and invested into startups goes towards companies that look at anything from climate change, sustainable energy, sustainable cities. So that's very exciting. Now, the product that we're looking at is still, again, does this address an important issue? And something that I'm really excited about when I think about when I was growing up, the people that were on the front covers of the Times were, Mick Jagger. I think now entrepreneurs are really those people that we cherish and we want to put on a pedestal and we want to follow. And that's also why I'm so excited about making sure that the entrepreneurs that we back and the entrepreneurs that we invest in are equally representative of society, because one thing that I'm definitely seeing, and also the numbers are not encouraging, is that we see still 92% of all VC money that is put into startup goes to men, and let's face it, predominantly they're white men. So if we want to have an equitable future where products are built for everyone, we need to really move the dial there.
Marta, is continental Europe a bit of a hostile environment for tech startups? Mm-hmm. And I ask the question because the story over the last couple of days has got a lot of attention, is the Macron-Trump standoff over digital taxes. Mm-hmm. And of course you had your own issues mm-hmm. in Germany where they didn't want you to set up a mm-hmm. campus, so you backed out of that back in October of 2018. It just feels that access to capital and the environment for grassroots startup tech companies in continental Europe is just a little more difficult than it is perhaps in the UK and in the United States.
So I think it's a very good question. I think at the end of the day, and having been in startups for 13 years, there is something. Fundamentally, building a startup is a risky business. And I think that maybe when we zoom out and we look at the whole ecosystem from the perspective of, cushy jobs or, industries that have existed for a very long time, it feels like it's getting harder and harder. But at the end of the day, still the matter of starting a tech company remains the same. At the beginning, do you have the right people? Do you have the right market opportunity? What is your competition doing? It is still navigating a lot of those challenges. And I would say I'm not not sure if there is a material difference. There is definitely a material difference in how excited people are about tech. And I would say when I look at sort of 5 years ago versus now, I think also being in startups or building startups becomes more aspirational. There are more stories that are inspiring for people, and more people want to go into tech. And it's sort of with that conviction, with that energy, that they end up, some of them at least, succeeding.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.